My name is Molly. I never felt very special. I did not have many friends. I was quiet in school. I did not talk much. I was not very pretty. I did not wear nice clothes. But I always tried to be kind. I always wanted someone to love me. I did not want money or gifts. I only wanted someone to care. One day, I met a man named Scott. He came to fix the lights in my building. He was tall. He had brown hair and green eyes. He smiled and said, "Hi, how are you?" I said I was fine. I felt shy. He looked nice. He was the first person to talk to me that day. He asked if I lived alone. I said yes. He said, "You have a quiet smile." That made me feel warm inside. After that day, he came back to fix more things. He helped the old lady upstairs. He cleaned the stairs when it rained. He was always kind. One day he said, "Can I sit with you for a few minutes?" I said yes. We sat outside the building. He asked me simple things. What food I liked. What music I listened to. What time I came home from work. I told him I worked at a small shop and I did the night shift. He said, "That sounds hard. You must be strong." I smiled again. He gave me his number. He said, "You can call me if you ever feel lonely." I did not call him that night, but I looked at his number on my phone for a long time. I wanted to call him. I just didn't know what to say. After 2 days, he sent me a message. "Are you okay?" I wrote back. "I'm fine." He asked if I wanted to take a walk. I said yes. We walked around the block and talked. I was nervous, but he was kind. He asked about my family. I said I had none. He said, "You are very strong." I liked hearing that. Nobody told me that before. We started talking more. We sent messages every day. He called me in the evening. Sometimes he made jokes. Sometimes he just listened. I began to wait for his calls. I began to smile more. He made me feel like I was not alone. For the first time in a long time, I felt happy. One day, he came to my room with 2 sandwiches. "I made these for us," he said. We sat on the floor and ate. He told me about his past. He said he made many mistakes. I listened and did not say much. I just looked at him and thought, he is honest. He is trying. That night, I could not sleep. My heart was full. I thought I was falling in love. I did not tell him that. I was scared. Maybe he would go away. Maybe he would laugh. So I kept quiet. But I wanted to say it. Every day I thought, maybe tomorrow. More weeks passed. We met often. I cooked simple food. He said he liked it. He helped me carry water. He picked up a book for me once. He was always there. I started to believe we were something. He did not call me his girlfriend, but I hoped he would. I waited for the day he would say it. One day, I asked, "Do you tell your friends about me?" He looked at me and smiled. "You are my secret piece," he said. I smiled too, but inside I felt confused. Why a secret? If he liked me, why hide it? I began to notice small things. He only came late at night. He never stayed long. He never asked me about my dreams or my past. He never asked how I really felt. He just talked, and I listened. Still, I waited for him every night. I bought a new dress. I waited for him to notice. He did not say anything. I made his favorite rice. He ate it but looked at his phone the whole time. I asked, "Is something wrong?" He said, "You worry too much." I went quiet. One night, I called him. He did not answer. I called again. Nothing. The next day, he sent a short message. "Busy. Talk later." That later never came. I sent a message. "Did I do something wrong?" He did not reply. 3 days passed. I waited. My chest felt heavy. I could not sleep. I did not eat much. I sat near my phone all night. On the 4th day, he came to the building. I ran to him. I said, "Where were you?" He looked away. He said, "I think we should stop." My mouth felt dry. Could not speak. He said, "You're too quiet. You're always sad. I want something easy." Then he turned and walked away. Just like that. No goodbye. No sorry. I stood there, cold and lost. I wanted to run after him, but I didn't. I went back to my room. I closed the door. I sat on the floor and cried. My tears fell and would not stop. I whispered, "Why not me? What did I do wrong?" For 2 days, I did not go to work. I stayed inside. I looked at the wall. My heart felt broken. I kept thinking, he made me feel special, but it was not real. I thought I was loved, but I was only a secret. I gave him care. I gave him time. I gave him everything, but he gave me nothing back. On the 3rd day, I opened the window. The air was cold, but it made me feel awake. I looked at my face in the mirror. My eyes were red. My lips were dry, but I was still there. I touched my chest. It still hurt, but I was alive. I said to myself, I gave love. I was kind. He left, but I stayed. I am still here. That was the first time I started to feel strong. I was not healed, but I was not broken either. I was still me. I am sharing my story, hoping they reach someone. Are you there? Are you listening? If so, let me know. Drop a hello or tell me where you're listening from. Just knowing you're here means everything. The days passed slowly. I went to work again, but I moved like a robot. I cleaned the shelves, helped customers, and answered questions. But inside, I felt nothing. I smiled when I had to. I said hello and goodbye. But my heart was tired. At home, I did not turn on the TV. I did not play music. I just sat and looked out the window. The sky was always gray. I made simple food. I ate alone. I washed my clothes. I folded them one by one. I stayed quiet. I did not message anyone. I did not wait for his calls anymore. I deleted his number. One night, I went to the small shop near my street. I wanted some bread and milk. I was walking back when I saw a couple. They were laughing. The man held the woman's hand. She smiled at him with soft eyes. My heart felt heavy again. I looked away and walked faster. I wanted to go home. I did not want to remember, but I did remember. I remembered the time Scott gave me tea on a cold day. I remembered how he looked at me once and said, "You are soft." I like that. I remembered how he held my hand for just 1 second and then let go. I remembered everything, but I had to stop. I told myself, those were not real. They were not love. I felt pain, but also something new, a little anger. He made me feel small. He took my peace and gave me silence. He called me quiet, like it was wrong. But I am quiet, and that is not bad. The next day, I cleaned my room. I took out the old papers and empty boxes. I washed the windows. I made the bed. I did not do it for him. I did it for me. I wanted a clean space. I wanted a calm place. I took a small walk in the park. It was not far. The trees were green. The children were playing. A small dog ran past me. I smiled. It felt strange, but also good. I sat on a bench. I looked at the sky. It was blue. I had not looked at the sky in weeks. 2 older women sat on the next bench. One of them laughed loudly. The other one said, "You always laugh like that." They looked at each other and smiled. I watched them for a while. They looked happy. I wanted to feel that one day. I did not want to cry every night. I wanted peace. At home, I looked in the mirror again. My hair was not perfect. My eyes still looked tired. But I said, "This is me. And I am enough." That night, I cooked something warm. I added salt, pepper, and a little lemon. It smelled nice. I sat at the table and ate slowly. No phone, no noise, just food and quiet. It was not lonely. It was simple. I liked it. The next morning, I woke up before my alarm. I felt fresh. I made tea. I stood by the window and watched the street. People walked to work. A bus passed. A cat sat on the wall. Life was still moving, and I was still here. At work, my coworker Ella said, "You look better today." I smiled. I said, "I feel better." She did not ask more, but her eyes were kind. It felt nice. In the evening, I cleaned the kitchen. I folded the towels. I played soft music. I sat on the floor and closed my eyes. I thought, I don't need someone to say I matter. I already do. Scott did not choose me. He wanted something easy. But life is not easy. And I am not weak. I was kind. I was true. He walked away. But I will walk forward. One day at the shop, a man asked for help. He wanted to find cooking oil. I helped him find it. He smiled and said, "Thank you." His voice was gentle. His smile was real. I said, "You're welcome." He came back again the next week. He remembered my name. He said, "You were very kind last time." I said, "That's okay." I smiled, a real smile. I did not feel scared. He did not ask for my number. He did not say too much. But something small inside me felt warm. Not because I wanted love again, but because I felt seen. And I felt okay. That night, I looked at the stars. I stood on my balcony and looked up. I breathed in the cold air. I said to myself, "You did not break. You are still here. You are enough." The next few weeks were calm. I went to work. I ate my meals. I read short books again. I even found a small plant and put it near my window. I watered it every day. It was just a plant, but it felt good to care for something. One Sunday, I walked to the park again. I wore a blue sweater. The sun was soft. The wind was light. I sat on the same bench near the tree. A little girl ran past me and laughed. Her mother called her name. They looked happy. I smiled. I didn't feel sad this time. I just watched. That evening, I found an old photo of myself. It was from school. I had short hair. My eyes looked wide and full of hope. I held the photo and said, "I want to be her again." I wanted to bring that light back. Slowly, I was doing it. One night, I got a message. It was from Scott. He said, "Hey, just thinking of you. How are you?" I stared at the message for a while. My hands felt cold. My heart beat fast. I read it again. I thought about replying, but then I stopped. I did not want to go back. I did not want to feel small again. I closed my phone. I did not answer. The next day, I still felt strong. I still had a little pain, but it did not control me. I went to work and helped an old man find the sugar. He said, "Thank you, young lady. You're kind." I smiled and said, "You're welcome." He smiled back. In the evening, I sat by my window. I looked at the plant. It had a small white flower now. I touched the leaves and said, "You're growing. so am I. I thought about all the nights I cried. I thought about the days I waited for a message that never came. I thought about the pain, the questions, the silence. But I also thought about now. I could sleep again. I could smile. I could breathe. I started walking every morning, just 20 minutes around the block. I listened to the birds. I watched people open shops. I saw a boy give his mom a hug. These small things felt big now. They felt warm. One morning, the man from the shop came again. He said, "You walk early too?" I said, "Yes, it helps me feel better." He smiled. He said his name was Kevin. He lived 3 streets away. He liked to walk before work too. We started saying hello every morning. Nothing more. Just hello and have a good day. It was nice. I did not feel nervous. I did not feel afraid. I did not think about love. I just felt okay. One day, Kevin asked, "Would you like to sit and have tea at the cafe?" I waited a second. Then I said, "Okay." We sat near the window. The tea was hot. The chairs were soft. We talked about simple things. He liked to paint. I told him I liked quiet mornings. He did not ask about my past. He just listened. He looked at me when I spoke. He did not look at his phone. He did not change the subject. I felt calm. I felt safe. We met again 2 weeks later, and again after that. Sometimes just a walk. Sometimes just tea. I did not tell anyone. I did not need to. This was just for me. Kevin never pushed. He never asked for more. He said once, "You have a soft voice. It's nice." That made me smile. Not a sad smile. A true one. I looked at my life. It was not big. It was not loud. But it was peaceful. I was not crying at night. I was not begging someone to stay. I was not waiting for a message that would never come. One night I sat with Kevin on a bench. The sky was full of stars. He said, "You're easy to talk to." I looked at him and said, "Thank you." I did not say more. I did not need to. He did not try to hold my hand. He did not try to rush me. He just sat beside me. I liked that. Later that week, I looked in the mirror again. My hair was clean. My face looked soft. My eyes were calm. I said to myself, "I like you." It felt simple, but it was true. Scott was part of my story. He was the part that taught me pain, but he was also the part that showed me I needed to love myself first. He left me to cry. But from those tears, I found my strength. I don't know what the future holds. I don't know if Kevin will stay in my life. But I know this. I am not waiting for anyone to save me. I am not looking for someone to fix me. I am already whole. I hope have enjoyed the story. Like and comment if you want to hear more soon.